Welcome to the Season 2 premiere of the Wiccan Forum. I'm Robert Vecchio.
And I'm Steve Pulowski.
I'm Manny Ali.
And Beth Nolan.
Welcome, Beth, to the show. This is your first time here. I did a little research on you this morning. Now, you're a health kinesiologist, a massage therapist, a dowser, and a Hatha and Tantra yoga instructor. Can you describe what a Hatha and Tantra yoga? Hey, I got 4 big words here. I'm lucky to make them out of all of them. So.
Okay, Hatha in Sanskrit means sun moon.
Okay.
So it's about joining the polar opposites.
Okay.
So the inhale is the sun, the exhale is the moon, and then all the postures are, there's a front and a back, and up and a down. There's always a polar opposite in every posture to bring us to the moment, to bring us to our breath.
Okay.
And then the Tantra yoga is to use that same breath more evocatively to stir up sexual energy, to help one of the breaths is called the orgasmic reflex breath.
Ooh, interesting.
And if you breathe a certain way, you'll definitely feel orgasmic energy.
Really? Okay. Now, that's not the yoga you teach here every Thursdays at 6 p.m.
You're right. Only Hatha is taught on my, here and in my other places.
Okay.
I do group Tantra yoga classes where we create a sacred circle. We don't call it 4 directions. We actually just honor all the elements.
Okay.
And honor Earth, and any of the energy that we create, we owe it to the planet.
Okay. I saw pictures on your website, which is www.bnyoga.com. It's also a link on our site. There were some cool little pictures. It was like about 40, 50 people in the wilderness, in the grassy meadow.
Yeah, that was at Evolve Fest this summer, and there was definitely 40 plus people who took advantage of.
It was great. It looked like a nice day. So.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
I also read in mid-February you're going to Costa Rica.
Yeah. One of the people at that workshop was creating a retreat in Costa Rica, and after she took my workshop, the Yoga of the Heart, she invited me to go to Costa Rica to teach.
Do you need 3 bodyguards? Fly cheap. Now, besides New York and New Jersey, where else have you taught?
I guess that's it so far.
Okay.
Yep. Well, Florida soon, and I think even Massachusetts soon, but that's all in the works.
All right. More power to you. Well, she's here every Thursday nights at 6 p.m. from 6 to 7:15, and I know can't wait to get your thoughts on other subjects. But okay, now in the news, Celtic Druidism was finally accepted as a religion in Britain this week. According to several different newspapers, and they had to do it in order to get special grants. Thoughts, comments?
I think it's interesting that Druidism started like within the Celtic region in England and stuff, and it's finally being recognized.
Yeah, I read online that they often gather at Stonehenge for the solstices in order to get more in tune with the sun and thunder and all the natural elements. So.
You mentioned that it was because they wanted to get special grants. Who?
It's not special grants, but it's more online. It's more of a, I forgot the word that they use. I should have printed out the article. Special authority for the government or something. I don't know. Go to CNN. It's on
the
there.
Government wanted a special authority?
The church or the religion.
The Druidic Church wanted the special authority.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For tax exemptions. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
So much pressure on the camera.
Because I thought it would have been an interesting point that the government had only done it because they had wanted their grants.
No, okay. They wanted tax exempt and stuff like that. But it's been around for thousands of years.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So.
And the interesting part that you had mentioned Stonehenge, they're still undecided basically whether Stonehenge was to worship the sun or the moon, because at the solstices and the equinoxes, they line up different ways. The way it's cut out, the way the stones are built.
I think it was made for both. I think it was just
a huge altar space
that thousands and thousands of people decided to.
Well, that's exactly it. I've actually seen pictures of a Beltane ritual at Stonehenge, and I think had to be. I think the article said there was. I know there was thousands and thousands of people there. There were so many people there that they had to start turning people away because there was too many.
Can you imagine performing a ritual at Stonehenge? How cool would that be?
It would. You should have a lot of people looking at you.
It doesn't matter to me, as long as we can film. So.
Well, there's our own Stonehenge that a druid shaman created in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, and he'll be having a Samhain ceremony honoring the ancestors, and it's called the Celtic New Year.
Really?
That's interesting.
Steve, I think I'm sick for your ritual. No, I would not miss yours. You see, the problem with going
Can you
out.
do it here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem with going to other events is we always have something here, but eventually we'll make it to everybody. So, would you like to talk about some commercials you've been hearing lately?
Yes, recently on the television and the radio, I've actually been hearing quite a few different commercials for different religions. I've actually seen a commercial for Mormonism, I've seen a commercial for Scientology, and I've heard a commercial for Kabbalahism on the radio as well. And I just think it's interesting because you don't normally see commercials advertising religion on television. The last commercial I ever remember seeing, in fact the only commercial I ever remember seeing, is for Jehovah's Witnesses, and that was always the Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Okay, the Church of Latter. Okay.
Yeah, but that was back in the early 80s, late 80s when we were growing up.
Mm-hmm.
That was the last time I remember seeing these commercials. So I think it's interesting because if Wiccans were to say, hey, let's do a commercial to advertise Wicca on television or on the radio,
We'd have the Catholic League against
it
us.
would start like another version, a 2010 version of the Salem witch trials.
Yeah,
It
you will not
wouldn't
see.
fly.
Yeah, no, you will not see a commercial for Wiccans.
You'd have lynch mobs everywhere.
Yes, no.
It just wouldn't work. So I just think that's it's a little off-putting.
But you know what? I see it as a good thing because I think people are looking for spirituality nowadays, and if they can find it, no matter in Kabbalah or Scientology or what else did you mention?
Mormonism.
Mormonism. At least
No,
they're
you're
not
absolutely
alone.
right. If somebody's looking for spiritualism and they find it, whether it be in any of those religions or ours, then so be it.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to go.
Mhm.
But I just think it's interesting that these different religions, they're starting to have commercials now, whereas not all religions can do that because even though it's 2010, not all religions are still widely accepted.
Yeah, unfortunately it is.
So
Well, I've seen more and more goddess bumper stickers on cars.
I have.
Oh,
I've seen that. I've actually seen a guy driving a car with a child of the goddess bumper sticker
Mm-hmm.
and a bumper sticker that said "God is coming" and is she pissed? Usually it's a woman.
Well,
See,
well,
now-
don't you think with the change of even England accepting the Celtic, that there's going to be more of an opening to the earth religions?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And, I mean, and is it, for me it is earth religion. To call it Wiccan, to call it Druidism, to call it, like, I can or don't break it down like that.
It all comes from paganism anyway.
Yes,
Right.
it does.
Well,
It's
yeah. Then,
reverence for nature, no matter how you look at it. And I don't need to go to a church to speak to whoever's out there. I can go out in nature.
Are you sure you don't want to donate your paycheck?
I ain't donating my paycheck to anyone, except for myself,
Well, in that case, we'll have a fire ritual in my backyard, and everybody can donate their paycheck to me. The Church of Steve.
Who decided and made you boss?
I did.
Alright.
It's nice to have a ritual in your backyard, but I don't need to donate anything.
No, you wouldn't
Church
have
of
to.
Steve? I don't know about that one.
it's interesting that you bring that up. I just recently heard about 3 different miracle stories of tithing. And it doesn't have to be to your church, it could be to anything, but people who actually tally up 10% of what they make every week and give it to something, their lives change financially. Like,
Oh.
yeah.
For better?
For better, totally for better.
Oh.
And it was one person who did all this reading. He read every, 7 steps to being wealthy, all these business books, all these things for prosperity, and he said the one common thing was tithing.
Well, we're going to stop on this note, and we'll see you back for part 2.